I'm Amy Cherry. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, here to wow ya. 3 people are in prison after a raid on a suspected drug home in Palm Coast. John Arking reports.
Following an undercover investigation over several months, the Flagler County Sheriff's Office executed a narcotics search warrant Tuesday afternoon at 20 Fellshire Lane with the assistance of tactical team members. After receiving numerous complaints of suspected drug activity at the residence, detectives were able to confirm that subjects there were distributing illegal narcotics. 3 adults and 3 juveniles were inside the home at the time of the bust, in which officers also discovered a quantity of prescription pills, heroin laced with fentanyl, a small amount of marijuana, and various drug paraphernalia items. Arrested and charged with various drug offenses were 32-year-old Shameen Giddens, 29-year-old Kedra Smith, and 38-year-old Devon Hall. Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley.
We're not going to tolerate poison peddlers in our community, but we really appreciate the community giving us tips when they see something that doesn't look right in their neighborhood.
The Florida Department of Children and Family Services was notified due to the nature of the incident, and the 3 children were then turned over to a family member who arrived on scene. The investigation is still ongoing, and additional charges may be pending. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm John Arking.
This portion of Flagler's Morning News brought to you by the Daytona Beach International Airport. Save time, money, and stress. The Daytona Beach International Airport. Delta Airlines nonstop to Atlanta. And now nonstop service to New York City via American Airlines.
A pair of motorcycle crashes kept Flagler County emergency workers busy yesterday. In the first crash, deputies say a Palm Coast man suffered severe head trauma. It happened just before 7 a.m. yesterday along I-95 near the way station at mile marker 287. Deputies say 34-year-old Daniel Castellovedi of the city's B section clipped a Volkswagen bus and spun out of control. Deputies say he was wearing a helmet, but it cracked. Emergency crews had called for a chopper to take him to the hospital, but due to weather, Castellovedi had to be taken by ground to Halifax Hospital. A second motorcycle crash was reported later that day right outside Matanzas High School. In that instance, the motorcyclist also suffered a head injury.
As the homeless have been driven from the library property in Palm Coast, Mayor Melissa Holland says Flagler County must help its own.
Though much of the attention has been focused on the homeless living near the library, Holland says it's bigger than Palm Coast.
This is a county-wide issue. We cannot displace homeless individuals from one community to the other. This is not a jurisdictional boundary issue.
Holland says the entire community has to discuss how to help the homeless in Flagler County. She said that while policies need to be adopted to benefit everybody, they must be adopted compassionately to provide long-term help to the homeless. Tomorrow, we talk about homelessness with a Bunnell City Commissioner. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
Some local officials are being recognized for their hard work. With more, here's Tony Magoo.
Last Sunday, at the Halifax River Yacht Club in Daytona Beach, the Volusia Flagler chapter of the ACLU handed out some hardware. Lisa Lewis, Volusia County Supervisor of Elections, and Katie Lenhart, Flagler County Supervisor of Elections, were recognized as Civil Libertarians of the Year by the ACLU. Both of these women were awarded the Bob Stevens Award for Outstanding Service during the meeting and awards dinner. And with us is Lenhart. Why do you think you were given this award?
Apparently, I went above and beyond to help people register to vote, newly eligible citizens, after the Voting Restoration Amendment that restores the voting right for convicted felons.
This law went into effect on January the 8th. What was your interaction like with the folks affected by this law?
I think that our proactive efforts here in Flagler to help people understand it and, providing that information so they can register has been important.
For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Tony Magoo.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Amy Cherry.